I'm joined here today with Odie Gray. He runs a charity out of Atlanta, and I wanted to have him talk about it because he's going to be one of the ones that is benefacted by your donations to the Shave That Beard charity. So, Odie, do you mind go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about your charity a little bit?
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Odie Gray. I am president of Diversity Cyber Council. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and it is our mission to train, educate, and staff residents of underserved communities to enter the cybersecurity and technology workforce.
And so that challenge, usually when a startup charity gets going, it's really challenging. So, do you mind talking a little bit about your journey and kind of the constituents you serve and how do you serve them is kind of the question. But let's get started with how long has your charity been around and what are some of those startup challenges for a charity?
Absolutely, and that's a great question. We've only been around for a little bit over a year, and our board consists of military veterans and cybersecurity professionals. Given our early stage, we're really sustained by our own personal donations back to our nonprofit. And that has been a challenge, right? When you're trying to make an impact and you're attempting to add value to the people you serve, it becomes a challenge when you don't have enough operational funds to really meet those core objectives. In regards to our main demographic, pretty much people from underserved communities and those that have a lack of representation in the current technology workforce, specifically military veterans, women, people with disabilities, people of color, and we want to be able to focus on ages 17 and above.
Sure. And what's the purpose of that 17 and above? Is it something around catching them young and helping give that positive place to put their efforts, or what's the thought process on the youth aspect of that?
Truly, we wish we can get them younger, even younger. I
Yeah.
see computer science as a key component of literacy moving forward.
Yeah.
Just given how much technology is an aspect of our society, but 17 and above is more focused on the immediate workforce. I think
Sure.
us as technology professionals, we're all aware that there is a huge demand that has yet to be met. So we aim to refine training so we can turn over professionals quickly and able to be able to assist with the improve the readiness of the workforce.
Yeah. Makes total sense. I think I agree with you completely on, I'd love to start solving it earlier. Another one of the charities that I chose to sponsor is Bits and Bytes, and that is one of their visions is that early education space. But I like the focus on immediate workforce and that space. Can you tell me a little bit about one of the programs that you started telling me about the other day? What
Yeah,
is the current program you're wrapping up right now?
absolutely. So that is our CompTIA IT Fundamentals 30-day challenge. And we make it 30 days so that it can be very hyper focused on teaching them the foundational skills to become an IT professional. And our participants gain free laptops, free mentorship, resume writing, career coaching, free content and materials for the exam itself. And we pay for exam costs. So we graduated 15 participants and we had a 80% exam pass rate. So
Nice.
just
Is that for
adding
the
on
Network Plus or Sec Plus or what's the certs they're taking?
for the CompTIA IT Fundamental Plus.
Okay, IT Fundamentals Plus.
Yeah.
Awesome. So 80% pass rate. Do you have any placement stats yet? I know we're really early in that in less than a year, but are they finding jobs as well?
Yeah, so graduation actually just happened yesterday, but we already have a good pulse on the way forward. We have strategic community partners like Tribaja, Insight
Okay.
Global, Tech Systems that operate in a staffing agency and placement kind of range. So they're proactively working with our candidates that graduated, reviewing resumes. We actually have a resume workshop coming up with Insight Global next week, I believe. So it's a work
That's
in
awesome.
progress, but it's a lot of people working to reach that end goal of employment.
Well, when I learned about your organization and its youth, I don't mean that by youth of the participants, but youth of the organization being less than a year. I harken back to my time that I spent on United Way's Funds Distribution Committee. I spent 10 years on the Escambia County Funds Distribution Committee. And one of the things that I realized was if you were not already receiving funds, it was almost impossible to receive funds. if you
Mhm.
didn't already have some kind of in-kind or other donations that you could show to a donor, or you could show to an organization that proved, the fiduciary responsibility, that proved the ability to garner more funds and grow and not stagnate and not be able to deliver your mission. And that was one of those things where it rang with me. And so when I thought about this charity, even though there's some risk and there's some things that come into play when you're dealing with a new young charity, I wanted to select those that needed the leg up more than others might. And so I picked a fair smattering of different charities, and Diversity Cyber Council was one that was recommended through my LinkedIn post, and it really resonated with me to try to be able to give you that help. So that said, maybe self-aggrandizingly for this charity, and if you see up above, go to the cybermattlee.com/shave that beard. It'll take you to a GoFundMe link. You can also reach out to us directly and donate directly to Hackers for Vets, and they'll distribute those down the road. But if we go through the first round, which for everybody's edification, the goal is every $10,000, we're going to take that to one of the five charities until we go through each of the five. Now, where we sit today, to update people, is that we had a direct donation of $15,000 by Eric with Barricade Cyber, and he donated that to Hackers for Vets. So that has been fulfilled. Women Who Code is going to get the first $10,000. We're right now at 8,000 of that $10,000 and ready to hit that. As we go down the line, you're going to get your distribution of 10,000, and hopefully we can repeat that and do 20, and maybe whatever happens after that. But the goal is, if we could get you the 10,000, what is that going to do for your programs? How does that change your organization in the immediate future? And what does that set you up for as you kind of continue to evolve this program? If you don't mind elaborating on that for a bit.
Right. So, transparently speaking, our programs genuinely, I would say, exceed $10,000, but it's a move in the right direction, and it helps us to be able to
And
train
that's
more.
because the laptop cost and the connectivity cost assistance, potentially, like those type of ancillaries. Is that predominantly the cost where it goes?
Right, those ancillaries, as far as training content and making sure that we have the instructors available to actually teach the course. So all these operational costs do play a factor. But with that being said, $20,000 does go a long way to allowing us an opportunity to train more participants. We have enough operational runway till about the end of fall, and then we're really going to have to figure out a way to move forward. Again, that's not out of a lack of effort on our side to apply for grants
Yep.
or look out for donors and things of that nature. But
You've got to get matching funds. You got to have all kinds of stuff for a lot of those grants. I know that game. So
yeah, it,
hopefully this helps in that regard.
it
So.
absolutely does. And I appreciate you for being forward thinking enough to identify a key area of need as it relates to charities and nonprofits, and saying, we're going to be proactive about giving you that leg up, so you can meet that
Yeah.
that next financial goal to move you
I
forward.
mean, what nerd gets to shave their beard for charity anyway, right? So might as well help as much as I possibly can. That's awesome. Listen, if you could, we're trying to keep this short, and I want to, keep this under 10 minutes, but if you could speak to any of the donors out there that are maybe on the fence and are helping drive us towards the needle for you getting your $10,000, what kind of change do you make in your people's lives and the people that you've helped and served? Like, what kind of feeling do you want do you help get from that, if that makes sense, right? When you help see somebody graduate in an opportunity they would not have had.
It is wow. Yesterday, when I handed out the certificates of completion for the just seeing the smiling faces, and then when
Yeah.
they took the exam, when they found out that they passed, there was first the shock, and then the relief, and then
Did you tell them at that time at graduation they had passed or failed? Is that
so,
did you
so the
just
way
want
that
to?
we ran it down was that we had class, then we passed out the certificates of completion for the program, then they sat for the exam right after.
Right then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once they finished the exam, of course, CompTIA has their surveys, so their
Yeah.
heart kind of dropped a little bit, and then they actually they got to know if they passed or not. So when they
Oh
found out
man,
they passed, you seen the look on their faces. Just
it's
like I said,
pride,
it was shock,
right?
relief, then excitement.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because throughout the course, I would quiz the class and say, tell me the tenets of cybersecurity, CIA. What does that stand for?
Yeah,
Um,
confidentiality, integrity, and
Training and
availability, baby.
availability, right? And I said, did any of you all know that 2 weeks ago? And they're
Oh,
like,
that's
we
epic.
had no idea. So then I'll say, so you're comfortable enough to say that you actually are learning things, right? And it was just this realization across the entire class where it's like, yeah, this is insane. I'm learning the fundamentals of information technology and cybersecurity. So to the donors out there, if you're on the fence, I really urge and ask you to move forward with donating to this worthy cause. It definitely leads to a great impact. Also, any employers out there that's willing to hire entry-level IT professionals, please contact us. Our website is www.diversitycybercouncil.com. And, we look forward to partnering with you all and, creating a greater impact.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like live, so I'm not even going to edit any of that out. Like, I just want you to know I like the reality and organic aspect of something going on. So I'm down with it. I love it. I think that's sage advice. And anybody that's out there, if wants to reach out to me directly and donate directly to and fully fund the $10,000 for Diversity Cyber Council, I think that would be awesome. We'll make a big deal out of it and make sure that you, as a vendor, partner, corporate sponsor, or just human being, are recognized for those efforts, and we will get the funds to them even faster. Other than that, Odie, thank you for taking the time to be here with me. I'm super excited about this. I genuinely believe we'll at least hit the $50,000 level. We're at 23,000 right now. It gets a little skewed because somebody donated a half of a 10,000 to somebody, so it messes up my math. Everything's broken in my head, but that's okay. Everybody need to know how OCD I am. But anyways, thank you so much, my friend, and keep doing the good work. And actually, it's just so awesome. This happens to be right after graduation, and you get to feel some of the fruits of those labors, and really help continue to drive this massive job gap that we have in cybersecurity and IT. Thank you. So
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Take care.